lately I'm thinking a lot about detaching and like, when the peak of my anxiety was 2016, so already some time ago. And since then, in the healing journey, maybe I'm sure you also experienced that. You encounter a lot of like, let's say, gurus. If you are on a spiritual journey, then for sure shamanism, Taoism, all these kind of things. Maybe Kundalini, yoga, and different techniques, Reiki, breath work, energy work, all this kind of stuff. And I think it's just natural that, you are then, if you're seeking like me, seeking for answers, and you face in my case, the anxiety, so you turn around, you not run away, you turn around, you're like, okay, what is this? Why is it happening? Where is it coming from? And all these answers, and then once you start, you have even more questions. And I realized it already, or it happened already 2 times now. That actually 3 times, if you want so. So the first journey or the first step for me was the therapy, like behavior therapy. I don't know if you say that in English, but so you talk and we also did some kind of constellations and, bringing me back to situations where I felt not loved, for example, changing the situation. And this was very interesting and to a certain amount also helpful, of course. But the anxiety is still stuck in my body, and I pretty soon realized that I need to do something with my body. So when I move my body, then I can release. And this happened I got to the first retreat, which was a shamanic Taoism retreat, kind of. So we worked, it was only for women, we worked a lot with the womb to activate again the womb. And this was really helpful for me. And I realized, wow, okay, this is huge. But then I stayed with this kind of healing process, I would say. And at some point I realized, okay, it's not doing anything for me anymore. It's like I leveled up and now a new level is coming. So I started to come to new resources and encounter other people, also shared with more people, and all this kind. You develop yourself, you go your way. But I come to another point where I just needed to detach myself from everything and sit there for a moment and look at it and look at myself and also ask myself, who am I without all this? Because, there are so many, especially also, or not especially, but I feel it here more in Portugal than I felt it in Berlin, but also now I'm in a different kind of journey than I was in Berlin. So you encounter people here and also not only in the real world, but also in the internet world, where a lot of people talking a lot of stuff, right? And it's to some amount, it's also almost always the same. Or easily you can find the same sources, let's say. And yeah, at a certain point, for me at least, I was never the one that was only following one thing. And now also with what I'm doing in my life, I'm not doing one thing. I'm doing several things. Otherwise, I'm not feeling fulfilled. And also, I find it very difficult. I didn't find it, I'm not looking for it, but I didn't find yet one group or one guru or one person or one subculture where I think, this is it, this is exactly my values, there I want to follow. Or, this is my group, this is my kind of people. And I'm not saying I didn't find my kind of people, so maybe I need to reframe it, because they're like-minded people, they call my friends, and but this is, I want to separate this. But when it's coming more to the idea how people see life and what they also do in their life, and what kind of routines they have, what kind of techniques they have, and all this kind of things, I feel like it's coming always to a point where I feel like, okay, now the bucket is full, and I learned everything that I can learn from this group, from this person, from this teacher, from this healer, whoever it might be, or whatever it might be. And so I can take the stuff that I learned and that's value for me and it helped me, and I take it and I go my way. And I encounter the next person or the next topic that is coming up for me. But I know that some people, for them, it's not like this. They just like to stay with the group. And that's completely fine. There's no judgment there. But yeah, I guess I'm curious if there are people out there that they feel the same, that they are not feeling. Let's describe it like this. So when I was younger, a teenager, there was still subcultures still exist. I think they're not really existing anymore, not so much anymore. Anyway, and you had the punks, you had the hip hoppers, you had the hippies, you had the Rastafaris, at least the want to be ones. And you had these like different kind of subcultures. So for me, and the alternatives. So for me, I was very drawn to the alternatives, but also the hip hop culture was very much like growing when I was young in Germany, especially in this town where I was born. So this was also part of me, and I liked it as well. So I took some stuff from there. And punk was also, for me, very interesting. The whole punk culture, like from the skinhead, ska, all this kind of, from the music to the political, this was very, very much a thing. So I was, back then, more an activist than I am now. Now I would consider myself an activist. So back then I already took the things that I resonated with the most, and I took it and I kind of was building my own subculture that I was the only member. So yeah, I think it's still the same. It's not something that I think I'm not seeking for the group of people that are exactly like me, because that way for me it's also much more interesting, because I love to dive into different groups and different cultures, and I find it very interesting, and I get inspired by it a lot. And that way I also keep myself open. I'm not restricting myself, and this is again no judgment of people who like to be in a group, because everyone is different, everyone has different needs. So yeah, I guess I'm just sharing here my process of where I'm right now, and I really like that I'm now also not afraid of this, that, taking a moment to step back and see where I am right now and go from there and see what tools and what knowledge I gained, and with that take the next step to wherever it might be. So yeah, again, let me know in the comments if you feel the same or what experience you have with that. If you feel like, I don't know, maybe you were a punk, or you still are, and you feel really safe in that environment, and this is exactly where you want to be, or you like me, and you just take the things that you like the most and you go ahead. Yeah, I would like to know what your experience is with that. Thank you so much again for listening, and yeah, I'm really here to just share and have my thoughts. They can change tomorrow, so maybe next time you listen to or watching one of my videos, I'm gonna contradict myself completely, but this is how it is, right? So I'm just here to share my thoughts, and also partly what I'm going through, what life brings. And so, yeah, I really appreciate that you're listening and watching this video. And please, please, please hit the subscribe button. That would help me a lot. Thank you so much.